In the NFL's first ever game in Dublin, Ireland, the Minnesota Vikings and Pittsburgh Steelers square off. And I have the Vikings winning by just 1 point, 22-21. The Vikings defense has blitzed on 37.8% of dropbacks, the sixth highest rate in the league. And they've allowed just 4.2 yards per attempt when they've blitzed. That's fourth best. Aaron Rodgers, let's look at his results against the blitz though. 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 107.5 passer rating. So he's done well against the blitz. However, when the blitz makes a pressure or when he's under pressure in general, he has the league's lowest completion percentage, just 25%. Just so we have the accounting here, Carson Wentz went 5 of 9 for 99 yards on intermediate passes in week 3 against the Bengals. So are we going to see the gritty in Dublin? The Commanders head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. I have the away team, that's Washington, winning 25-21. The Commanders ran for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns in week 3 against the Raiders, and that was without Jaden Daniels. They lead the NFL, averaging 5.7 yards per rush this season. And on the other side, Michael Penix, he's had some trouble against pressure over the past 2 games. He's gone just 3 of 13 for 38 yards under pressure over the past 2, whereas he started the season going 10 of 16 for 135 yards and had a touchdown, and that was against Tampa Bay's pressure in week 1. Which version are we going to get? Well, it could be a problem because Washington brought about a 55% pressure rate last week against the Raiders, and Dorrance Armstrong particularly is tied for 3rd in the NFL with 18 pressures this season. The Saints head to Orchard Park for a matchup with the Bills. I have the home team, Buffalo, winning 32-16. The Saints defense has just a 21.6 pressure rate so far this season. That ranks 32nd, which is lowest in the NFL. They're playing zone coverage at the 6th highest rate this season, which is 82%. And these are favorable conditions for Josh Allen, who's completing 74.6% of his passes against zone. That's 6th best in the NFL, which means about 3 of every 4 attempts are completed passes.
And he stumbles into the end zone for the touchdown.
2 teams coming off massive Week 3 wins square off in Detroit when the Cleveland Browns come to town to take on the Lions. I have the Lions winning this one 26-16. The Browns' run defense has been great. They've allowed just 57.3 rushing yards per game this season, which is tops in the NFL. They also held Derrick Henry and Josh Jacobs down over the past 2 weeks. Will they be up for the challenge of the duo between David Montgomery and, of course, Jahmyr Gibbs? We'll have to see, but my math says yes. Cam Ward makes the first of many trips to Houston this week when the Titans take on the Texans. I have Houston coming out on top 24-16. CJ Stroud ranks 11th in the NFL, averaging 7.8 yards per attempt when not under pressure this season. And the Titans defense is only pressuring quarterbacks on about a quarter of their dropbacks, 25.7% to be precise. That ranks 28th in the NFL. Coming off a big win over the Falcons, the Carolina Panthers head to Foxborough for a matchup with the New England Patriots. I have the Pats winning this one 24-21. Drake May has a 78.9 completion percentage when not under pressure. That is 7th best in the league. And the Panthers defense, they're only getting pressure on the quarterback on 24.3% of dropbacks. That ranks 30th or 3rd worst in the NFL. The Jackson Dart era for the Giants officially begins this weekend in New York when the LA Chargers come to town. Unfortunately, I have the Chargers spoiling his debut by a score of 24-19. The Chargers defense is allowing a 20.7 completion percentage on downfield passes. That is the lowest in the NFL. So it's going to be a very difficult start for Dart. And then on the other side, Justin Herbert has 5 touchdown passes of 10+ air yards. So the downfield plays, they are in favor of the Chargers.
Touchdown, Chargers!
Coming off of a last-minute improbable win against the Rams, the Philadelphia Eagles now head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. I have the away team Eagles winning this one 24-22. Why? Because we saw the return of the downfield pass. Jalen Hurts in the second half against the Rams went 7 of 9 for 154 yards and 2 touchdowns on passes of 10+ air yards. In the first 10 quarters of this season, he was just 2 of 7 on such attempts. And Todd Bowles, we know he's going to blitz. He blitzed Hurts on 40+% of his dropbacks in 4 of 5 games, and he got pressure on him on 56%. So we'll see a lot of pressure. However, the passing game is back, baby. Daniel Jones and the surprise Colts face a tough test against the Los Angeles Rams this weekend at SoFi. Jones leads the NFL with 9.3 yards per attempt this season. He also has a 60.6 dropback success rate. He's been blitzed on a league-high 48% of those dropbacks as well. So he's doing a very good job of passing even under duress. He has a 62.8 completion percentage, 9.7 yards per attempt, and 1 touchdown against the blitz this season. Now on the other side, Puka Nacua leads the NFL with 29 receptions and 333 receiving yards.
On 4th down and 1, Nacua goes 45 to the house.
The Niners host the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend, and I have San Francisco pulling off the win 23-21 despite many injuries to their team. They actually happen to be the only 3-0 team in the NFL without a rushing touchdown this season. By the way, Christian McCaffrey has played. In fact, he's tied for 3rd in the NFL with 32 targets and 3rd in the NFL with 25 receptions this season. In a battle of unlikely one and 2 teams, the Baltimore Ravens head to Arrowhead for a matchup with the Chiefs. I have the Ravens coming out on top in this one, but just by 1 point, 24-23. Lamar Jackson has not thrown an interception when not under pressure this season. His O-line has really been helping him out. And Patrick Mahomes, he still leads the Chiefs in rushing yards and rushing touchdowns. He's the only Chiefs player with 100 rushing yards. He has 125. The Chicago Bears head to Las Vegas for a matchup with the Raiders. I have the home team winning this one by 1 point, 24-23. Caleb Williams is tied with Aaron Rodgers for 7 touchdown passes. Caleb Williams also completed 6 of 9 on open field targets for 174 yards and 4 touchdowns in Week 3 against the Cowboys. That was his first career game with over 100 yards on such passes. Stop me if you've heard this somewhere before, but Micah Parsons is heading back to Dallas this weekend to take on the Cowboys, the team that traded him away. There's no CeeDee Lamb in this matchup. I have the Packers winning this one 28-20. Let's look at both teams' pressure rates, though, because it's a little closer than you might think. The Packers are pressuring quarterbacks on 36.6% of dropbacks. They rank 12th. And the Cowboys, they're at 34%. That's 15th. I think that's closer than I had anticipated, especially with the Cowboys moving on from Parsons. In an AFC East tilt, the New York Jets head down to Miami for a matchup with the Dolphins. I have the Jets winning this one 24-23. New York has had a lead in the final 2 minutes in 2 of their 3 games this season. And don't look now, but if you drafted Garrett Wilson on your fantasy team, you are very happy. The Dolphins surprisingly lead the NFL with a 54.3 3rd down conversion percentage this season, but I have the Jets topping them in this one. And in the last game of Week 4, the second Monday nighter, how lucky are we? The Broncos play host to the Bengals. I have Denver winning this one 28-17. Nick Bonitto leads the NFL with 21 pressures this season, and Jake Browning unfortunately leads the NFL with 5 interceptions despite throwing just 59 passes, which means he's thrown an interception on 8.5% of attempts. Chase Brown has 47 rushes for just 93 yards and a touchdown this season. That's a 2.0 yard average. He has negative 54 yards before contact. So what that means is that he's being hit on average more than a yard behind the line of scrimmage, and he's been hit behind the line of scrimmage on 77% of rush attempts.